Colin Harding, a Latin American analyst and the director of Latinform, a consultancy service. Thanks so much for being on the News Hour. Now, first of all, what do you make of this latest move, and do you think it will impact Maduro in any way?
Well, I mean, the accusations, mutual accusations between Colombia and Venezuela are by no means new. Maduro, for his part, has unveiled dozens, if not hundreds, of plots to assassinate him, to overthrow his government, usually blamed on an alliance between Colombia and US imperialism. And the OAS, which has just had this meeting, is regarded in Venezuela by the Venezuelan government as a puppet of the United States. So there's nothing new there. On the Colombian side, the disorders recently, and this is still going on in Colombia, the government has found it convenient to blame Venezuelan agents for helping to stir things up. Because there are about 1.5 million Venezuelans in Colombia who fled the terrible economic meltdown in their country, and of course it is plausible on the face of it that there might be some agents infiltrated among those people. But again, there are many reasons for the disorders in Colombia, and looking for reasons from outside, looking for agents to stir things up, I think is pushing straws a bit.
And Colin, we've heard Nicolas Maduro saying that his army is ready in case of an invasion from across the border. Is this just tough talk?
Yes. Yes, there's going to be no invasion from Colombia. It's a way of distracting attention from the internal problems that the government is suffering in Venezuela and has been for years now. The government, the President Maduro, has accused successive Colombian governments of wanting to overthrow him. And this is an opportunity again to move troops to the border, to impose border restrictions and so on, to claim the country as being threatened from outside. But I don't think there's any substance in this at all.
And tell me, how is the situation in Venezuela now? And correct me if I'm wrong, Colombia is one of the few countries that didn't shut its borders to Venezuelans going leaving the country.
Well, there have been restrictions imposed by a number of other countries, Peru, for instance, Ecuador. Colombia has performed remarkably. It's not a rich country, but they've taken in about 1.5 million Venezuelans, as I said, some of them passing through to go on to Chile or to Peru or to Argentina or other countries, but many of them have stayed. And in fact, they have been, on the whole, of economic benefit to Colombia. But it has been a remarkable performance by Colombia, I think, and they should be saluted for it.
And which countries are helping Venezuela now?
Well, we've got Cuba, China, Russia. These are the main support for Venezuela. The Russians have provided a lot of military equipment. The Chinese have got various trade deals with them. They're investing in oil and so on. But the Venezuelan economy is in very poor state, and I think the idea that the country supporting Venezuela will somehow rescue the economy, I think, is probably a bit far-fetched. I think they're quite reluctant, particularly the Russians, to get too deeply involved with Venezuela, because the place isn't such a mess, and there's virtually a bottomless pit that they could fall into. But they are keeping going. I mean, there's no indication that the Maduro government is going to fall, despite the appalling situation in which the country finds itself. And they do have a number of countries supporting them still.
All right, we'll leave it there. Colin Harding, thank you very much indeed for your time and your thoughts. Thank you.